like I said, I started my walk with Christ back in 2023, and I was in it and I was not in it, and it was like I had the yearning and the passion and the desire to have an intimate relationship with God, but I was still of the world and I was still doing worldly things, and I wasn't fully submitted, fully committed, and just surrendered all to him.
Take a shot if you ever missed a credit card payment. All right, cool.
So when I first got my first Airbnb, it was in Nashville, Tennessee, and I had invested exactly $7,000 in total for that place. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It was in a nice building. It had a pool and everything. And my $7,000 included my first month's rent. Not learning, you need to leave. Like, no matter what it is you're doing, whether you're in a career field, whether you're around friends, whether you're in a church, it don't matter. Wherever you are in life and you're just stagnant and you're not learning, like your brain isn't being fueled, get up and leave.
Nah, that's a fact. Even like go down to like smoking. I really never really have a desire to smoke because my closest people that I talk to do not smoke. So it's not like I'm about to hit my friend. I'm like, yo, what you doing? About to have a safe. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
let's like pull up.
Yeah, like sometimes people think just because they older, it's like they know so much better. Or
but
they
you can learn so much from me.
Exactly, and I can learn so much from you. Like I always tell people, like we need intergenerational conversations, intergenerational supports. There's things that I know that's in this new age that you don't know because you're not connected.
Yeah.
And there's some things that you know because you've been around longer, and I need to know. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Young and Dumb Show. You already told you, like, we bringing goats on the show so y'all could get the game because we not gonna be young and dumb. We gonna be young and turnt though. All right, but I'm here with Miss Bella Bond. Nah, playing with you. Nah, but we got a new identity in the building. You know, she want to set the record straight. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about it before we came on the show, but yeah. So talk about your shift from Bella Bond to your personal name, Yuhniece Ogunleye. Ogunleye. I got it. You from Nigeria, right?
Yes.
Nigeria, all right, cool. Now you my sis, because I'm from Ghana, so.
Okay.
You my sis, yeah, but yeah. All right.
Yes, everyone has always known me as Miss Bella Bomb for years, or Bella Bomb. I started going by Bella when I was in 7th grade.
Oh, word. So that's okay.
Yeah. So my French teacher gave me the name, and as a lady, I just turned 25. So starting my I started my walk with Christ back in 2023, but actually being fully committed was really like this month. And one of the things he told me to do, because it was like he really was creating a new identity in me, which was my actual identity, Yuhniece, who I am. Yeah. And I love my name. My name is Yuhniece. It's unique. You don't know anyone else with my name, at least spelled like how my name is spelled. Yeah. So I think I'm just one of one. And he just wants me to really walk in my uniqueness. So I took back that power, and yeah, I'm Yuhniece. And that's what I'll be going by from now on.
Nah, I like that. You know what's so funny is like, when we want to move different, we start moving different on social media. For like, that's like your name change like on social media, and then it's like, okay, she not going by Bella Bomb no more, so now we just going to refer to you as Yuhniece. You get what I'm saying? It's like, once you change the social media, it's like, this who I am. It's so funny. Like it's so funny, the power of social media. Like that's just so crazy. But so you said you this month. What you about to say?
I was gonna say it's funny because I started going by Bella because I switched my social media name to Bella. Yes. So like that was my identity. Yep. But it was literally a made up identity.
Nah, that's a fact. You know what's crazy? I used to have my Instagram name as like Leah Pesos, but then I didn't like people calling me Leah. Like it used to just get me tight. Like, why are you calling me Leah? But then I realized like people calling you that because that's what your name is on IG, or like when people meet you and stuff like that. Go by. Exactly. And then I changed it to like Aaliyah_NJD. So now people calling me NJD. I'm like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? And then once I just changed it to Aaliyah Duah, now it's like people calling me Duah. Yeah. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So it's so crazy, the power of social media. But you said that you this month, right? God called you to walk in your uniqueness, right? Yeah. What was that journey like?
Oh, it was definitely a journey. It was a journey because, like I said, I started my walk with Christ back in 2023, and I was in it and I was not in it, and it was like I had the yearning and the passion and the desire to have an intimate relationship with God, but I was still of the world and I was still doing worldly things, and I wasn't fully submitted, fully committed, and just surrendered all to Him. I didn't surrender all to Christ. So I feel like there was always like a pulling. It was like a tug of war. Like sometimes I have my highs and then you'll have your lows, and then you're like, you still not being, I don't know, I guess fulfilled. So I was being disobedient, basically a lukewarm Christian from 2023 April all the way up until I really want to say up until this month, for real. Because even I want to say I really started building an intimate relationship with God back in December. That whole month of December was like a real isolation period for me, like isolated from friends and everything. And then January came, my birthday, and I'm like, it's my birth month. The whole month is my birthday. It's not just one day. So I'm outside. I'm having fun. I'm hanging out. I'm doing girls' nights. Even my girls' nights, it was more like a, like, you know, little ratchetness.
Yeah,
like it
party,
was,
you know,
yeah,
get
little
lit.
turn up. Exactly.
Yeah, lit.
So it was like, but I know God still wanted me to be in consecration at that time. I know He still wanted me to be in that isolation mode. So when February came, literally we went out to dinner. Then the last day of January, and the next morning I'm like, well, that same day while we were at dinner, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm starting to fast tomorrow. I was like, I'm starting to fast. Like, I knew it. So that first week of February, I did a fast. And I was very intentional with it, very sincere. And I had to really learn the power of fast. And I have to understand, okay, I'm not just here abstaining from food. I'm really like trying to build a relationship with God. I want to hear from God, and I want Him to do breakthroughs in my life. So if I want Him to do that, like I need to really understand like how to fast and how to fast properly. So it's like I came to understand that you need a repentant heart. You need to have a clean heart, because that's how he hears you. He accepts your fast and accepts your sacrifice through the repentance of your heart, through your heart being pure, your heart posture. That's what matters. So it's not like, okay, I'm just doing this because a friend is doing it, because the church is doing it, or I'm just doing it because I want this. No, I'm doing this because I'm really turning back from the life that I'm living, and I am fully surrendering my life to You. And yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
So I know we're going to get into cars in a second, but I just want to speak to that, right? So that takes a lot of discipline. A lot of discipline. So what are some of the things that you felt like you had to let go of during the time of your fast, right? Because I feel like a big thing for a lot of people is that they'll want to do something, but the people that they're around and the things that they're around in their environment isn't supportive of that thing that they want to do. So sometimes people feel like, dang, like I can't hang out with my friends, I can't do that. So did you go through that period? What was that thought process like? How did you handle that?
Oh yeah, it was like I wasn't talking to no one. Absolutely not. Only people that I was actually speaking to was people that were bringing me closer to Christ, like brothers in Christ, sisters in Christ. And it's so funny because God literally put them in my life in that exact time. Like I would say maybe that week prior, a friend of mine, his name is John, he started saying, oh, come with me to church. I started going with him to church, and like from there it just started building up. I started meeting other people, and then I had like other sisters in Christ, and they were just like, you know, holding me accountable and stuff. But even my best friend, like me and my best friend didn't speak my whole entire fast. It was the first 10 days.
How long was the fast?
10 days.
10 days.
And we didn't speak that whole entire time period. I didn't really speak to anyone. Like I didn't speak to anyone except my parents and the people in the church. So it was a abstaining from that, abstaining from food, not listening to worldly music, really like.
So no Sexy Red?
I don't even play with Sexy Red on a regular. Like she is not my cup of tea at all.
Nah, I'm playing with you.
But so it was just like no. And then because you know you're not talking to certain friends, ain't no gossiping going on. Like I also cut off Instagram. I had deleted the app off my phone because I fasted in the past, and I know that app be having me in a little chokehold. So it's like I wanted full consecration. I wanted full concentration on God.
All right, so you let go of those things. Yeah. And what were you doing with your time? were you still working? Were you like, what was it? Like reading the Bible? Like,
yeah, so I was more in the Word. I was reading my Bible more. I was listening to worship music, listening to sermons more. I was still working, still doing what I have to do. And it was just more like God and work, sleep, prayer, a lot of praying. Reading too. I was reading books that was just helping me like with either my prayer life or fasting, understanding it more and different kinds of fasts and stuff like that. And I was watching a lot of videos on the things I wanted to know. So it's like, I know I wanted better dream life. I'm watching videos on that. I know, okay, I want to just really understand what I'm doing. I'm fasting. Let me understand the different kinds of fast there are. Let me understand how I should be doing it. Let me understand where my heart posture needed to be. Like, I was watching a lot of videos about what I'm seeking.
Yeah. No, that's good. I feel like you went at it the same way we will go out of things that we want, like career wise, right? Like if I'm trying to get, like, you do real estate, right? If I'm trying to learn about real estate, I'm going to watch videos and consume real estate and get into books about real estate, and I'm going to, surround myself with real estate people. So that makes sense. Yeah. So we're going to shift the conversation a little bit. I do want to play a little Broke or Brilliant. I'm glad that we started off with that. Real quick though, before we shift, is there any scripture or anything that has been leading you lately?
One of the biggest scriptures that was so big during my fast was Psalms 51, prayer of restoration. That's from David, and he's basically talking to God and just telling him how forgive me for my sins, the sins that I've committed against you, and they're always before me, basically saying they're always burdening him, and he just wants God to wash him clean, create him a new spirit, a righteous spirit, and let him be, cleaned whiter than snow, just making him new, making him new and clean, a new person, right? That really resonated with me because that's exactly what I was looking for. And literally the last day of my fast, God told me, change my Instagram name. But that's not all I got from the fast. I got a lot from the fast.
No, that's a
whole different.
I feel like that was just the thing that people saw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, people, it takes time to see like the work that you've been doing, but like that was like a hardcore like shift. Like we saw the name go from boom,
said, wait, hold on, no more Miss Bella.
Yeah, like you just pop back on Instagram, new name. I'm like, all right, bet, all right, cool, we with it. Nah, but I'm in support all the time of just positivity, and at any point when somebody's trying to better themselves or have a higher desire to better themselves, I'm always supportive of that. You know what I'm saying? I always tell my friends or any shorty I'm talking to, whatever, like if you gotta cut me off because I'm in a way, do your thing.
Listen, that is so tea.
Do your thing, cause
that is so tea.
Like, do your thing, cause I feel sometimes like
with a distraction.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. And I know that when I need to cut people off, it's not from a you negative or anything like that. It's just that I need clarity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to be around anything. Right? You don't have to be negative. It's just that I don't want no noise. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes I may be noise. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? I could be talking about money and you don't want to hear that.
Right. Because where you at right now, it's like, that's the like,
I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah.
You feel me? So,
that is that's so important.
I tell them all the time, if I'm not for you, you can let me go. It's cool. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. But now let's get to it though. I want to talk about I want to play the game real quick, right? Test you, right? So you're in the real estate industry, right?
Oh my God.
So I try
listen, y'all. We listen and we don't judge, because if I don't get the answer right, don't judge me.
All right. So this is a drinking game, y'all, but you don't have to drink to play, right? So when you're playing the game, the way the game works is called Broke or Brilliant. It's a financial literacy drinking game, right? So we have these take a shot cards, right? So if the prompt applies to you, you're supposed to take a shot. But since we're not playing with alcohol today, you're supposed to do squats. But I know you in your dress right now, so I'm not gonna violate. And make you do squats. But
just imagine.
Just know you do some arm raises or something. I don't know. Something. All right, but look. All right, so we're gonna start off with the take a shot cards, right?
Okay.
So take a shot if you ever missed a credit card payment. All right, cool. We're gonna do a Q&A one. So the way the Q&A works, right? So we have questions, right? If you get the question wrong, you're supposed to take a shot. If you get it right, you get a currency card, right? And the more currency cards you have, that's how you win the game. So let's see. What does APR stand for?
And your percentage rate.
All right, okay. See, I try to find cars that I said, you know what? She should know this, right? She should know this. All right, cool. All right, we're going to do another one. What does DTI in financing?
Debt to income ratio.
All right. She know her stuff. You might want to go get a property from her.
Get a property from me.
You might want to. All right, we're going to do one more. What percent should your credit utilization be lower than?
It should be lower than 30, but the ideal percentage you want to have it at is at anywhere from 2 to 9% because you get the highest increase and highest impact on your credit score with that.
Hey, good. That's what we had on the cards.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't even know
all right.
none of her questions, so listen, y'all. I know my stuff.
Now, she does. All right, you can put these
yeah.
back on the joint for me, please. Now, we good. Appreciate you. Nah, okay. She knew what she was talking about. It should be good. Yeah. She knew what she was talking about. All right, cool. So we're gonna get into it, right? So, Yuhniece, you do real estate, right?
Yeah.
So, what can you explain what you do in the real estate industry and then how you got started?
So what I do, I'm a licensed real estate agent in New York. So I could cover the whole state of New York. I primarily focus on rentals, long-term, short-term, and mid-term rentals, but I do also help clients with buying and selling their properties as well.
Okay, so that could be like a home,
exactly,
thing like that. So you help them find a seller.
Yeah, no, a buyer. So if I'm working with a seller, I'm gonna help them find a buyer to sell their property. Yeah. And if I'm working with a buyer, then I'm helping them find their dream home.
Nah, that's fine.
Or investment property if you're an investor. We do that too.
So how did you get started in real estate?
I got started. So I first got licensed back when I was 19. So back in 2019, and it wasn't as serious for me because I was also making money other places. So it was it wasn't that serious. The reason I wanted to get into real estate is real estate I always had a desire and passion. I love when I watch the videos, the shows at home. What's that channel called?
The luxury show. I know you're talking luxury real estate shows. Yeah.
So and I would always have a desire. Until one day I was 18. I went to a mansion party with one of my friends in Pennsylvania, one of my coworkers, when I was working at Century 21, and we went to the mansion party, and on the outside, the house looked so ugh. But in the inside, it was gorgeous. It was so beautiful. It was a real mansion. And I was like, I like this. She was like, yeah, the person who does it, he buys properties and just does Airbnb with them. I was like, oh, I want to do that. I was like, that's what I want to do. And from there, I was still working at Century, and I started applying for different type of real estate jobs. I winded up finding...
Quick question. Century 21 the real estate or Century 21 the shopping store?
The shopping store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The department store. Okay. That used to be in Albee Square. It was so ghetto.
Right there. That's why I used to get my little polo t-shirts and joints.
Yo, they had everything.
I used to get my little $20 polo shirts.
They had everything in there. I would apply for stuff. I wound up finding a company that sponsored me to get my license. So they paid for the classes for me to get my license. I failed the first time I took the test. I didn't study the first time I took the test.
You just took it?
Yeah, because someone told me, I don't know if it was an instructor, they was like, you don't need the classes, just take the exam. And I was like, okay. Yo,
you went out. Went out in
the
real world.
Failed. So I was like, man, I don't know about it. So the company that paid for my classes, they was like, we paid for your classes. Are you gonna finish them? And I was like, I don't know. They was like, look, we're doing a fast track course. You learn everything because the way the classes were, you go there on your own, and you have to you pick whatever schedule it is, and you go there, and you're there for however many hours, and you get the credit for it. So with the fast track course, you learn everything you're supposed to learn in 1 week, and you be in the building from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You just learn everything in 1 week, and then you take your exam the next week. So I did it. I was literally still in college when I did it. So I took 2 days out of school to make sure I'm in that building, and I learned everything. And then the following week, that Tuesday, I ended up passing my exam. I passed the school and the state.
No, that's good. That's good. So, okay, now fast track to immediately after you start selling, you go into working with somebody, you sell product, what is
yeah, so I started, so once you get licensed, you have to hang your license under a brokerage. So all real estate agents are under a brokerage unless you're a broker, but even when you're a broker, you're still under something. Yeah. So whether it's your own company or someone else's. Yeah. So with that, I was at that company. I had wound up closing a rental within that same month, or I think the month right after. And the rentals were quick. It was easy money. So I was doing a lot of rentals. I wasn't really caring too much for the sales. But again, I was also in school and I was doing door-to-door sales. So I didn't really dedicate time to real estate. I just would do, okay, whatever deal I do if I'm working with a specific client.
Okay, so when you say you was doing, what's the difference between sales and rentals? Like,
so with sales, you are actually helping someone either buy a house or you're selling someone's house for them. With rentals, you're working with tenants and landlords.
And finding them a place to live.
Exactly. With landlords, you're renting out their apartments. With tenants, you're putting them in an apartment. So with rentals, you're working with landlords and tenants. With sales, you're working with buyers and sellers.
That's great. So now, which do you make more money in? Or is it like however much effort you put into it?
Yeah, it's however much effort you put into it. So like with anyone, you could definitely you're going to make way more money in sales opposed to rentals. If that is all you're doing and you have like your deals coming in back to back to back, yes. But for me, I make a lot of money with rentals because I do also work with the what is it called? Clients with voucher programs. Mm-hmm. And those checks be very quick to equivalent a house check, a sales check. So with those checks, as long as I'm doing like 4 a month, 5 a month, like I'm Gucci. I don't... Even if I do 1 a month, I'm still Gucci because it's a really big check. And then I have my regular tenants, my cash tenants that I work with as well. And with the cash tenants, those are probably like regular rentals. We make 1 month's rent with cash tenants. With the voucher tenants, you make way more than that. So it's like, yeah, as long as you got your deals lined up, you're gonna make more money.
All right, so I want to talk about it, right? So, what's all the different ways? Not all, but like, what's the main ways that you can make money with real estate, right? Because this sound good, like, you know, people who watch this, like, yo, I want to do this, I want to make money. How I do this, right? So put us on game. Like, what's the steps? Like, what should you be doing? Like,
so it's so many industries to getting started in real estate. You can be a real estate investor, someone that's investing into properties. You're either fixing them up, then you're flipping them, and you're flipping them for profit. So to return, like, you fix it up, whatever you spent, you make your money on that, and then you also profit on top of that. So that's like a big lump sum of change for you.
But that takes a lot of capital to start off with.
Yeah, that can take a lot of capital depending on the kind of deal you have or you find. So that's one way, fix and flips. Then you have when you can just invest in real estate and you're holding the property and you put tenants in there, and then your property is appreciating and it's gaining more in equity. So that's more of the long game, and then you're also receiving passive income every month from your tenants that you put in there. Or you can do rental arbitrage. I also do that as well. That's Airbnb. You can rent a property out. You don't have to be a owner. You don't have to invest so much. You don't have to be an investor, but you can be a tenant. You rent out someone's property and then you sublet it on short-term rental sites so that way you can make a profit. The whole idea there is to make sure you're making more than what your rent is and utilities.
What's good, y'all? It's Aaliyah from Financial Revolution. Are you broke or are you brilliant? This is the #1 financial literacy drinking game. This is a way for you to test your financial knowledge with your friends, with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, anybody. So now here's how you play the game. So we have Q&A cards. These Q&A cards have different financial questions, such as, what does APR stand for? Do you know what that stands for? If you get it correct, you receive a currency card. The more currency cards you have, that's how you win the game. Now, where it gets fun and cool, people have to take a shot for their poor financial decisions that they made. So we have take a shot cards. So now on this take a shot card, it says, take a shot if you don't have stocks. Or take a shot if you don't have credit. Or take a shot if you ever paid an overdraft fee. I know y'all would be drunk by now. Now, make sure you go to my website and you get your Broker Brilliant today so that you can play this. Again, this is a fun financial literacy drinking game, and you might see a little discount. Run over. Let's get it, y'all. Back to the episode. All right, so it's the Young and Dumb show. We got break it down to the people. You talking real estate language. I get you, but the people are not gonna get you. Yeah. So essentially, what you're saying is, so Airbnb, right? Yeah. You can do Airbnb. Basically, you will rent out a space. Right?
Yes.
Right, you lease a space.
Correct.
And instead of you living in that space or you utilizing that space, you then go and rent it out to other people.
Correct.
Right? So now let's say your rent is like $1,500 a month and you rent it out to 3 people and each person gives you $2,000 a month. That's $6,000 there. You pay your $1,500 and then you
Yes, and then your utilities and then your 4,500 is your profit.
Nah, see, that's good. That's good. So now, I guess, how do you go about acquiring and like finding these spaces, right? Because, and well, I guess the main question would be, how much money should you have saved up first to get started?
That's a great question. So when I first got my first Airbnb, it was in Nashville, Tennessee, and I had invested exactly $7,000 in total for that place. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It was in a nice building. It had a pool and everything. And my $7,000 included my first month's rent, my security deposit, my flight, my car rental, the food that I ate out there. It included the furniture. It included the paying the assemblyman. It included every single thing associated with that trip. That was what my $7,000.
So you went one time and did everything one time.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How did you find out about like Tennessee?
My cousin. So my cousin,
okay.
he put me on to Tennessee. He actually he owns now 3 houses out there. 2 houses out there, and then he just bought one in Houston. And he his first house, he was doing Airbnb with it. And he was like, because I was trying to get my first Airbnb in Atlanta, but it was not working out. Like, I was getting denied, and then some of them wasn't accepting to do Airbnb because I wasn't trying to do it under the table. I'm not trying to get evicted from nobody's house.
Like, you was just trying to tell them what you was trying to do.
Yeah, so it wasn't working out. And what happened was, I was telling him, he was like, just come to Nashville. Like, he's like, I'm making money over here. So he was telling me he was making like $8,000 a month. And I'm like, really? And I was like, all right, so I'm going to look at some properties. So he told me that back in like, I want to say July. So I spent a good month literally just looking at different properties. I found the building. They accepted what I wanted to do. And I applied for it. I got approved. It's so funny. I got approved for an apartment in Nashville and an apartment in Miami same exact day.
Wow.
I was in Miami and I got approved for an apartment out there, but I wound up going with Nashville. And what happened? Oh, yeah. So when I got out there, they basically, whatever my moving day was, I got approved back in, I want to say August or September. I pushed my moving date all the way to November because I wanted to give myself a month to gather all the things that I need to be sent there. So as far as the furniture and everything, so I pushed my moving date 1 month ahead.
Okay, cool. And how's that? You still have that Airbnb?
No, so that Airbnb, I winded up when my lease ended, I got another Airbnb out there in a different place, and I still have that one.
And how's that going? Like,
that one's good. Yeah,
that was good.
It's good. It's just like I have someone, they check in on what is this called? This is March now. No, it's not March, but they check in next month, March.
Yeah,
and they're
tomorrow.
There for 2
March
months.
is tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, they stay for 2 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I do that.
So Airbnb, you get your money after the stay or upfront, like.
You get so when it's long stays like that, you get it every 30 days. So you get it 2 days after they check in, and then when that next month comes in, you get it next month when the first 30 days.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool. So I guess, all right, let's go back to the sales part, right? Yeah. If I'm do the real estate test, how do you go about finding a firm to work under, and how do I scout what's a good firm? Yeah, what's may not be a good firm, like you know what I'm saying? Because I really want to speak to the people who want to get into the real estate industry.
Okay, so if you're looking to become a realtor, so like again, that's another industry. Being a realtor, helping people with buying, selling, renting. Once you take your exam and you pass, finding the best brokerage, to me, like a lot of people want to go for the big names, but I don't be recommending going for the big name. I think finding a brokerage that is still small and intimate, where the broker can literally work with you hands on and you can learn and you can grow, that is what is going to be best. Because you want to make sure you're in a place where you can actually grow and learn. You want to make sure you're getting trained. You want to make sure that, it's still family style. A lot of the big brokerages aren't family style because it's just like, all right, okay, you like a number.
Like, just a number. Like Corcoran Group will be big.
I won't talk about nobody, but yeah, that's a big one.
I'm not talking about from a negative lens, but I'm saying like I see Corcoran groups like every other block is a Corcoran group.
Corcoran is big. Compass and
Century 21.
Keller Williams. Century 21 is a big one too. Keller Williams for real. Stay away. But yeah.
Do that in there. All right, we got you. We don't have to say no more.
But yeah, I just think being somewhere small and intimate is great. As long as you're in a place where you are actually learning. That is the most important thing. Make sure that you're learning wherever you are and you're actually able to grow. One of my friends told me, if you're somewhere and you're not learning, you need to leave. Like, no matter what it is you're doing, whether you're in a career field, whether you're around friends, whether you're in a church, it don't matter. Wherever you are in life and you're just stagnant and you're not learning, like your brain isn't being fueled, get up and leave.
That's a fact. And even to add to that, I think what you're learning as well. Like, if you're not growing, I would even add to say the word is growing, because we'll learn. You go in spaces and you'll learn, but it's just like making sure you're learning things that are feeding you and adding value to you and helping you grow. You know what I'm saying? Because, you can be in spaces where you're learning things that's not good for you. Yeah. Right? You're learning habits and you're picking up on habits that aren't good for you. Like, for example, I don't really curse too much. Mm-hmm. Right?
Love that for you.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I did it, but I think it came a point where I'm just like, I'll see people cursing in the street and it just don't look good, and I just be like, it's not, I don't have like a purpose to curse, unless like I hit a toe, when you hit the toe, when you hit the toe, I'd be like, yo, yeah, that's about it. But I don't curse too much unless I'm joking, like, you know what I'm saying. But then I'll get around certain people that do curse, right, and then I realize like, okay, don't do that over here, because I'm gonna pick up on that habit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because we tend to like morph a little into the people we hang around.
No, literally, and it's subconscious. Like it's literally just like they do it, and it's like our brains are just wired to like kind of do it. And and we got
even the way they think.
You
start thinking like how some of your friends think.
No,
and you start, and that's also like you gotta be mindful of the company you keep. No. That's why they say if you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th one.
That's a fact.
Because you morph into the environment that you're in.
That's a fact. And I even like go down to like smoking. Yeah. Right? I really never really have a desire to smoke, because my closest people that I talk to do not smoke. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's not like I'm about to hit my friend. I'm like, yo, what you doing? About to have a safe. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
let's like pull up.
Yeah, like it's not something that I even desire to do, because it's not what I'm around. You get what I'm saying? And I think what we realize is like when you hang around something so often, that's what you become. And then when you get into other environments, you have to be very disciplined to make sure that you don't start morphing into that environment, like you said. But that's a little side note, little game for y'all. But back to the real estate though. So okay, big brokerage, let's stay away from that. Let's work with places that you're gonna grow and things like that. Now I'm at a firm. Yeah. How do I go about getting them sales? Is it really just like setting a goal and being hungry? Like what makes me stand out as a salesperson?
Well, definitely you're gonna need the training, because it's not gonna be all them stuff you learned in school. So you do need someone. You want to make sure you are somewhere where one, you can get training and you're able to grow. You want to make sure your percentages work out best for you.
What do you mean by that?
Like your commission percentage.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You want to make sure it makes sense.
So you can negotiate that.
You can, and if they don't accept, you can go somewhere else.
So all right. So when you go to a firm, they'll be like, oh, you get 10% out of your sales. Like, is that like, how does that work? Like,
yeah. So some companies will start you off either 50-50. Some will start you at 70-30, where you're getting 30 and they're getting 70. Some companies are 70-30, where you're getting 70, they're getting 30, or 80-20. You may have some that's 90-10, may have some that's 60-40. Some of them start at 50-50, and then like as you get more sales or as you close more deals, then you go up to the next tier, 60-40, then the next tier, 70-30. Where the company I'm at, it's a set base, and there is no tiers. It's a set base, and it's a good base. But yeah, it's negotiate that, and then what actually makes you stand out so you can get those sales. I think literally honing into your uniqueness, being a people person. This is a people's business. Your relationship, the relationships you have with the people you work with and people you just meet on a regular is very important. How you carry yourself, your reputation, how you present yourself, being professional and being organized. You definitely stand out, especially when you're young. Like us being young, we have to be on point.
No, yeah, because people look at it like, what this youngin' doing over here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
They will play you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Other agents be like, yeah, because I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been doing this before you were born.
And it just be like, exactly, all right, but like I'm still here with you. Yeah. Just as like clean, just as sharp, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sharper mind, because I'm younger. Yeah, your brain is fried. Nah, I gotta talk my, because sometimes adults that be pissing me off. Like, I always gotta play the respectful card, but it really be pissing.
Elders.
Yeah, it really be pissing me off, because sometimes people think just because they older, it's like they know so much better, or
but
they
you can learn so much from me.
Exactly, and I can learn so much from you. Like, I always tell people, like, we need intergenerational conversations, intergenerational supports. There's things that I know that's in this new age that you don't know because you're not connected.
Yeah.
And there's some things that you know because you've been around longer, and I need to know.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, and you know, the real thing is, though, they look at us as competition.
That's a thing. That's a big thing.
We're a threat to them because now it's like
sometimes it brings out a sense of insecurity.
Exactly, it's like, yo, this young girl about to come, and or maybe, you know, they started when they were 30 and you starting at in your 20s, so it's that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like
let's just grow together. Let's get money.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm so for that. I'm always like, bro, I don't got time for that. Let's just get money. Like, I'm here for money. I don't care about nobody else or what they got going on. Like, I'm here for for me.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
here to get done my business.
Let's work together. But yeah, to your point though, like, so what were we talking about? I just got me tight.
What makes you a good salesperson? What makes you stand out? Like, what would make a person work with you? Marketing is big too.
Yes, and I think you're good at that. You're really good at that. That's how I found you. I knew you as Bella Bomb Real Estate. Like that, I got that in my notes when I was putting up my podcast. I said Bella Real Estate, Bella Bomb. Like, and that's marketing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I always look at marketing as when somebody think about you, what's the first thing that comes in your mind?
Okay.
Their mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for you, real estate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Thank you. I love that. I love that so much.
No, you're really good. But yeah, talk to her about it.
Yeah, marketing is so important, especially now, because you see, like, back in the I don't want to say back in the day, but even when I was at 19, a thing was door-to-door mailers, going door-to-door, promoting yourself and things like that. Like I told you, I used to do door-to-door sales. So door-to-door was really a big thing. Mailer flyers, all those things. But now you just need to show up with your business, show up how you can serve the community, show up what the value you bring to people on social media, and people will come. A lot of my business has came from social media, and a lot of my business comes from referrals because of me just having good reputation and doing good work and knowing my stuff, knowing the product. That's very important. So making sure you're not only, going to the trainings, but you're also educating yourself daily, because real estate is the thing where you learn through experience. Like, I can't tell you, oh my God, like this, that, and like, you really got to go through it too, because you learn as you go. Especially when I'm dealing with these voucher clients, program clients. I learn as I go. Like, people come to me like, Bella, can you help me with this? Bella, can you help me with this as far as like with the programs? Because they know, okay, yeah, she knows this down pat, but I know through experience.
Yeah, and then I think another thing people don't realize, especially when it comes to like real estate, things change so much. Like the laws, vouchers, how it works, who could do what, who could do this, because a lot of this stuff is also new, so things are changing. So as things are changing, you gotta learn. Like, somebody may hit you with some new information, like, oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I'm always a student, and that's another thing. Always be coachable. Remain a student. Like, I'm still humble. Like, I don't know it all. You could come to me and be like, oh, so did you know this, that, I'd be like, oh, I never heard that. And you'll be like, yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm like, okay, cool. That's good. I'm going to look into that.
That's a fact.
Just always be coachable. I'm never the person to be like, I know everything. Nah, because there's a lot in real estate I don't know. Nah,
that's a fact. Those are really, really good tips. So, I guess, with real estate, how much money starting off, right, as a salesperson should your goal be to be making, right? Like, per month? Like, how many deals should you be, like, bringing in, and do you think that's subject to like where you are doing real estate?
Yeah, I think it is, because like I said, when I was first doing real estate, I was making money. I was doing door-to-door sales, so I was making money not in real estate though. That was literally something completely different.
Wait, you was door-to-door sell real estate or something different?
Something different.
Oh,
yeah, I was selling.
Is it secret? What you was selling?
No, I was doing Verizon Fios.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was doing Verizon. No, because
you just giving people high speed data. That's it.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So I was doing Verizon Fios door-to-door sales, and I was like 19. I was making good money doing that. So it was like my real estate. I would really only do it like as deals would come. Like, okay, people want me to work with them. I'm working with them, and like you had to have a certain budget. Like I was a little budget bougie. Like, all right, if you got a certain budget, I'm gonna work with you because I can't take away from my daughter to do a sale.
So every day, like, you was basically going to like different neighborhoods and pitching to them.
Yeah, like okay, this is why you need to switch over to Verizon Fios. We have this right now. This is the gigabyte speed is higher than what you have, and I could do a tester right now and show you what your internet is giving you.
Wow, and then people will let you into their home.
Oh yeah, sometimes I want to say throughout my whole time doing that, I probably got the door slammed on me 3 times and I got cursed out twice. But I always laugh. Like it will always be so funny to me.
How you got into that?
Yo, that's so funny. I think I was in college and then I don't know if it was a neighbor. Some girl, she had put me onto it. By the time I had finished that semester, so I started in the summertime. By the time I started, and shout out to Jeffson Athis. That was literally like he was the CEO of the business. He now does what is it called? Drop shipping. And he's a multi-millionaire now.
Wow.
And he taught us sales from the ground up. So when I got there, we had to learn our product. That's how I know, okay, product knowledge. After product knowledge, we do role play. So now, like, you know, you get in training. And now when we get in the field, you watching how the other people's clothes, you watch how they handle rebuttals, and you do it the same way.
Nah, that's fine. I always tell people, and this is what I learned, right? Because I've been selling since I was like 12, 13. Once you learn how to sell, you can sell anything.
Yeah.
Like, I could sell this globe to you. Like, I just start talking, like, yo, you got interior design in your home or in your office? Now, you ever thought about having a globe? Now, the globe is fire, adds a little addition, and then it also helps with anxiety if you may have anxiety because you could just spin it around. But then you're also learning because, like, you could just look at the different countries and see what countries next to each other, and then it's not a regular globe because it's not a map, right? You know, like, I'll just start chatting, right? You start talking, and like people just start listening to you, and then you get one sale. And then it just...
Yeah, it was literally like that. My first month doing the door-to-door sales, I didn't make $1. I think I made $60. That was it. I didn't make no money my first month. Second month, I watched one of the higher-up supervisors. His name was Quincy. I watched him go in the field, and I watched exactly how he spoke to the clients. I watched how he handled rebuttals. I watched how he was smooth. I watched how he got them comfortable. And then after that, I made a sale every single... There was not one day I did not make a sale.
It's a science to it. And just to give y'all some game, y'all, the best way to sell someone is to make them not feel like they're being sold.
Yes.
Right? Literally making them feel comfortable. You can start off with a little compliment like, yo, I like your dress.
Yeah, I was good at that.
Where you got your dress from? And it is a little manipulating. It actually is a little manipulating. But in the same way, it's like when you come off too harsh... Like,
nobody
you know what I'm
wants
saying?
it.
Or like, even I did like little trade shows. I'll see people walking past. They'll look. I'm like, you looking? You might as well come over here and be like, nah, how your day going today? I'm not about to sell you anything, all right? I'm just talking to you how your day. Just talking. And as I'm talking, I'm start telling them about my product. Yeah. Right? Just having a regular conversation. Next thing you know, it's like, you know what? I think I want to buy that.
Yeah, that's
you know
exactly how it goes.
People be so focused, but
and
it's
you
a
hit
psychology.
Pain points. You hit pain points. Money is always a pain point when someone's paying too much for something. Okay, well, you know, you can get this and it's quality. So.
Nah, you definitely got to hit emotion and just know what your target is. And also, like, find something that you may have in common with a person, too.
Correct.
That right there hits. Like, if you went to a similar college or if that person may have children and the children might be the same age as you or may have, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Their child, I grew up playing basketball, so if I find a parent who child play basketball, I'll play basketball too. You got finesse. You got finesse, y'all.
But yeah, comfortable.
These are all sales skills. So this is good game. But now I want to get into it, right? So now, once I'm selling, I have my goal. I'm achieving my goal. How do I grow in the business? Right? Because I don't want to get comfortable.
That was your question, and I don't even think I answered.
Wait.
What should be your goal?
Oh, yeah, go. We getting too comfortable here. We just chatting.
Sorry, y'all. Your goal. I think that really does depend on how much effort you want to put into this business. If you are making real estate your full-time job and you are going to go ham, you are going to go all off on it, I think your goal should be at least 4 to 5. I mean, as a beginner, you could do 3.
4 to 5,000.
Oh, I'm thinking 3 deals a month.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 deals a month is good. I mean, all you need is your 1. I feel like once everybody gets their 1, that battery is put in your back.
Like,
so
you see
now
what's
you go
possible.
to 3, and then you keep doing 3 a month, at least a good 3 times. Now the goal is 5, and then the minimum is 5. So I think that's really how it should go. You get your first deal. Once the first deal is done, you have that battery in your back. You're good, because you do need to celebrate your little wins as well.
No, that's
so
a
you
fact.
get your 1. After you get your 1, the goal is 3 every month. Let that be the goal for the next 3 months. After that, 5 is the minimum forever.
I like that. I like that. So, damn, I just had a good question. Damn, slipped my mind. Now you gonna? No, it's not you. No, I was asking. Damn, it slipped my mind. All right, it's cool. So we gonna move on. So, what are some? How do I not stay comfortable in that position? Like, where can I move on to after? Oh, this was my question.
Okay.
Referrals. Do you have any good referral tactics? Right. Like, is there anything that you tell your clients? Because, for example, right, I work in schools. And one thing I do to get referrals is I tell principals, like, hey, if you really enjoy my program, because I make sure I do a good job, really enjoy my program, if you refer to another principal, because they know each other, principals know each other, I give you 10% off, right? And then I keep doing that, right? And then when they get 10% off, like, they like that because they get to keep, some of the budget for something else.
Yeah.
So do you have any referral tactics
I actually don't have any referrals like this right now. I actually want to add some because my clients are so freaking good and loyal to me. Like, they're always referring me business. And I think that just because of my work ethic. So it's like, they don't even want nothing. It's like, no, go to her. She's good. She's going to help you with this. So it's like, it's just so genuine. But yeah, I do want to incorporate referral. And I was going to start with like 10%. Yeah.
Have you ever took any like L's in this business?
Absolutely.
What would be like? What would be considered like an L?
Not getting the client to sign paperwork. That is a
What do you mean by that?
So like, if you have an agreement and like, say like a listing agreement.
What's a listing agreement?
Listing agreement is your agreement that you are an exclusive listing agreement at that. You are the exclusive agent working on this deal. There can be no other agent, and if there is another agent, they have to go through you. Even if the seller or the landlord finds a tenant or finds a buyer themselves, you are still owed your commission, and that still has to go through you. So that locks you in with that property for X amount of time. So yeah, when I was like, was I 20 or 21? I think 20, maybe 20. I think I was 20. I had yes. Oh gosh, I was 20. I had a deal, a good deal. I had a brownstone house.
How much on the table?
Like 1.2
million.
Yes.
So you was gonna come back with like at least 30.
Yeah, at least 30.
Yeah,
at minimum. That was probably gonna be the minimum, and it was still a little higher than that. So, I didn't have my lady sign paperwork. So boom, we getting real serious. I'm gonna have her sign the paperwork now, whatever. And she was like, "Yeah, some other lady." So the lady I'm working with, her granddaughter, all the way in Atlanta, had somebody from her office, come and fly, or had somebody from her office have an agent come to New York. Well, I think they were already in New York, but come to the lady's house and have her sign paperwork with her. So I'm like...
And you already been working on this.
I've been working on this. I already got my buyer. I got everything. So it's like, we really are almost at the finish line. We about to draw up contracts. We at the part where we want to... So, because it was also an off-market deal, too. But the granddaughter has somebody come and make the grandmother sign paperwork with her. So, out of nowhere, I'm talking to my client, and then the client's daughter, not the granddaughter, the daughter, she's like, yeah, this lady came and said we can't talk to you no more. I said, what? So what you talking about? She was like, yeah, she said we're not allowed to speak to you. And I don't know why she said it. So I'm calling you to let you. So I said, okay, let me give her a phone call. What's wrong with her? She's like, yeah, these are my clients. They signed an exclusive listing with me. I said, oh, the devil was a liar. When I tell you that whole deal caused me so much stress. I winded up getting her off the case. I was like literally going to sue her. Like, I was not playing. I had my broker at the time. He was also a real estate attorney. First of all, I was at a different office, but the new office I had went to, that broke at the time. He was a real estate attorney, so he was like, "Oh yeah, we gonna." It went far. So I ended up getting on that deal again. I had to, but it took time. Like that, it took time. Like we couldn't do nothing. Like it was really a standstill because my clients were so loyal to me. They're like, "Oh, we not moving if Yuhniece is not a part of this deal." They're like, "We're not doing nothing if Yuhniece is not a part of this." So the lady's like, "Okay, she could work with the buyer." She wanted to cut me out my commission so bad.
That's crazy.
I was also in Nashville at the time
trying
too,
to do the Airbnb,
doing my Airbnb, and I'm like, God, this is too much for me. Like it was times I was crying. It wasn't time I wanted to. I was crying.
Yeah,
like that whole deal caused so much anxiety. I was like, nah, like. So ever since then, I don't play that game. I don't play those games.
Nah, I feel you. All right, so what do you when you making real estate money, right? Because I think you get like good checks at one time, right? First, how long does it take to close like a deal on average?
That's a good question because that was something I did want to say when I was talking about sales. And when I was saying the difference between sales and rental. So with sales, at least in New York City, I know in other places it's quicker and easier, but in New York City, a deal can take anywhere from 2 to 3 months, 4 months as well. So from 2 to 4 months, it could take you to close on a house deal. With rentals, it can take a week, 2 weeks. It could take 1 month. If it's a voucher, it'll probably take minimum 2 months. But like I said, that's why I like rentals because it's like it's so quick
money.
You in and you out.
Yeah. So rentals is like what? How much? Like 5,000 here, 10,000
Yeah,
here.
like you a month or like each rental.
Like each rental. It
depends, each rental
right?
is 1 month's rent. So what a broke agent would make is 1 month's rent, but you could also make 10% of the annual rent or 15% of the annual rent, which is almost close to 2 months' rent. So in some deals, like there's deals where I have where my client is paying me and I'm also getting paid by the building, so I'm getting double commission. There's deals where when I'm working with the voucher clients, I'm getting 15% of the annual, which is almost close to 2 months rent. So I'm almost making double commission. So it definitely works in my benefit.
So do you get a salary on top of that?
No.
Okay,
everything is commission.
Everything is commission.
You drive yourself.
So you gotta hustle.
You have to hustle.
You gotta hustle.
Your work ethic is what really matters. So it's like if you know, okay, I want to take this serious. I really want to be in this field. Then you need to really give it your all.
You gotta hustle
for real.
So I guess my question I want to ask you: what are some like things that you were kind of sold going into real estate that when you got into the industry you realized like, yeah, this not really true, or like, because I feel like sometimes like we'll go on TikTok or we'll talk to somebody and they've been doing something for so long, so they make it sound so easy. They be like, yeah. Get 20K, you go get this property, you do it, and you try to do it. You got your 20K, you go do it. Then it's all these. Oh, you need this though. You need that. Yeah, you need that. So like that's what I mean.
I would say I'll give one for Airbnb and for being a real estate agent.
Okay.
So for being a real estate agent, I would think what would be like people make it look so good, like especially with the TV shows. You got Sirhan, and then you got there's a new one selling the city. It's
on
like,
Netflix, yeah.
So it looks like, oh my gosh, this is so like, this is the life. Like I want to do this. I'm gonna be rich. It's like no, it really like it's levels to it. It's really levels to it, and you really have to put in that pain. You really gotta put in that work. And if you don't, you're not gonna see what you see, the glitz and glamour side of it, because it's like your work ethic really, your determination, your drive really has to be there. Because again, you are not getting paid just because you showed up. You get paid when the deal and the transaction is finished and closed. So you have to keep it going. You have to keep that momentum going. So you can't just have one deal. You got to have one deal about to close and 4 deals in the works. So that way it's like it's back to back to back. So it's just consistent for you. And be organized. Yeah.
Nah, I like that. That's game. That's a good game. You giving us some good game. I like that. Now, yeah, I went to real estate school. I just couldn't finish. I was doing it during the pandemic, but it's just not something I'm passionate about. Like it was one of those things where my dad does real estate. Yeah. He's been doing real estate my whole life. And, he sent me to the school that he was going to go, and it was like online. And I was really just doing it just because I'm like, this is a way to make money. That's it. I feel like for me, like I got to kind of be in tune with something, and I feel like what makes you cool with the real estate is that I can get a sense that you actually enjoy putting people in homes. Like you enjoy that process. You passionate about like the work that you do. So how do you like? Was it just about the money at first? Were you passionate at first? Like, how did you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have the passion to put the people in homes, and I have the passion to like satisfy my clients as well, like especially my landlord clients, because it's like I know what they be looking at with their mortgage. So it's like, okay, I know I got a solution to this. This is how we gonna work this out, so that way this is covered, and then we gonna do this with the basement, and that way you make it even profit on top of it. So I'm like a solutionist. And I feel like the passion to help the people really just comes from, I have a passion to help people in a positive way. Like that's actually one of my things where it's like I feel like I'm here to impact people's lives in a positive way, and that's what I want to do. That's really what I want to do. Before I was even doing real estate, when I was doing credit repair, when I was doing business formations, things like that, everything was in a way to help people's lives.
Yeah.
So that's where that passion comes from, and I feel like, yeah.
I like
I'm trying
that.
to think.
I like that. I like that. Next question is like, okay, what are so you do buying and selling of the homes, and then you also do rentals. So we're gonna separate the question. For when I am trying to buy a house, what do I need? Like what are the sellers looking for? Like what's gonna make me look good?
Pre-approval first.
Pre-approval. Okay.
Yeah. So when you're trying to buy a house, you first got to get a pre-approval.
Where do you go to get that?
The mortgage bank. So you get that from a mortgage loan officer, the bank. You can get one from like a credit union, or you can actually find like your own mortgage lender, preferred mortgage lender. All realtors have their own preferred mortgage lender that they work with. I recommend Vivid Mortgages.
Okay.
But you can go different places and, see what it is you qualify for, see what your buying power is. That's what a pre-approval is. It allows you to see what that buying power is.
Like how much can you afford?
Exactly, based off your debt to income ratio.
DTI.
Yes. and based on your credits. So your actual credit worthiness, your history, and your ability to pay bills on time and things of that nature. And your income. So like the just all of those things take a toll on, okay, this is what you can afford. And the interest rates.
Okay, so for when I do that process, my credit's not being like ran or anything like that, right?
Yeah, when you first do the mortgage, your credit gets ran for that.
Oh, so when I'm doing a pre-approval,
your
so that gets put on my credit. So that has like a hard inquiry.
That's a hard inquiry. Yeah.
So that may cause my credit to go down a little bit.
Yeah, but it'll go right back up because it goes down by a few points. So like as you just continue paying your credit cards, it'll go back up. Just like when you apply for a real credit card and you get approved, your score goes down a bit until you start using that credit card.
Do you recommend people just buying a house in cash if they have the money?
If you're an investor and like you plan on flipping or something like that, then maybe you could either go the hard money lending route, because that's considered cash too, or no, not like for a regular person.
You're like not regular. Okay. All right, cool. All right,
not
and then
in
now
this market.
And now when it comes to rentals, right? Is it the same process? Like I need to figure out how much can I afford?
Yeah. So with rentals, I like this because I be helping people with their budgets. Like, okay, this is exactly what you need. When you are looking for a rental, you need to make sure whatever your budget is, you are making 40 times that amount. Because in New York City, you need to be making 40 times the annual rent.
Hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Hold on. All right. So
hold up.
Let's do some basic math here. So
okay,
you in a market.
It's
so
not that bad though.
You in a market.
Yeah.
You in a market. So average, let's say, let's put me for example.
Yeah. I have a 1-bedroom right now for $1,800.
Walk me through how much I can afford. So all right.
Okay. So tell me.
If I want a 1-bedroom on average, I want to live in a calm neighborhood, right? So how much is my rent?
You want to live in a calm neighborhood? How much is your budget?
No, I'm asking.
Oh, how much? Okay. In what area? Give me a neighborhood right now. And I'll tell you.
If I wanted to live in Bed-Stuy.
For a 1-bedroom?
Yeah, because I'm from the South. So
$2,700 minimum.
Wow. Okay. 20. All right. So $2,700. All right. So that means that 2,700 times 12. What's that? You got your phone.
27 times 12.
27 times 12.
It's 27 times 40.
Oh, 40 times. Yes.
So 27 times 40 is 108. So you need to be making $108,000 a year.
$108,000 a year. This is Before tax or after taxes?
It could be that don't really matter because it's a rental, so that could be before taxes.
Before taxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could be the gross.
Okay. But I'm not gonna but I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
The average person
is not making that.
Yes.
So the average person, if they want the 1-bedroom that I got in Bensonhurst right now for $1,800, they need to be making around $72,000. I kind of did the math already when I was talking to the owner.
$72,000
That's not bad. Yeah. That's calm. So you need to be making around, and that's a 1-bedroom.
But the
all
thing
utilities
is,
included.
The thing is, for that $72,000, it's like a lot. More than half of your check is going to just putting a roof over your head. That's beastie.
That's New York City. Let's see.
But I feel like we keep making excuses for New York.
21. So that's 21. That's like 1/3 of your check. I mean, that's 1/3 of your income. So that's 30%, right?
Yes, but you see this is why I teach financial literacy, because it is expensive.
And no, it is expensive out here. So that's why it's very important to budget, and that's why I tell people like, watching, knowing where your money comes in and where your money is going is important. And that's why it's like, it's okay. I feel like renting for a certain period of time, but then getting up and actually getting into home ownership should always be the goal, because listen, the prices are only going to get higher. So don't get stuck when you can actually be saving and building, especially if you have a partner or you have family members that you can do it with. Start saving together for y'all to get a house, because ownership is really the way. You don't want to be renting forever.
All right, so if I'm trying to figure out how, budgeting wise, how do you budget for your clients? Like, if you could just give us a quick little blueprint, or do you charge for that, something like that? Like would you be able to? Is that
no? I can tell you.
Oh, okay. So like, what do we look for?
So we already know that we need to be making at least 40 times the rent. So what I do is I go based off, okay, what's your budget, where you want to be at, things like that. So okay, if you're making a certain amount, that's already going to this. Then we're budgeting a certain amount for your groceries and your life expenses. So we just look at those numbers, and I do look at like their bills. So like sometimes, because I can look at their credit report. So I go over their bills. I'm like, I really prioritize the rent and then their actual bills, making sure that they can pay their bills and things like that. And then everything else is like, their leisure or whatever.
Yeah.
And we go over it, and I'm like, okay, so based off like these cards, this is what needs to also be paid off first, because this is where your highest interest rate is. So with this highest interest rate, you need to pay this card off first, or you need to be putting more payments on this card opposed to these other cards that you have. And we just budget like that, because it's like we already know what you can afford. And then by knowing what you can afford, what you guys can be saving to put away for when you guys are ready for the house.
This is a lot of game. This is good. I already know I'm coming to you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna come to you for sure. I'm in the talks. I was just having a talk with my dad this morning about like what's the exit plan. 'Cause I still live with my parents, my dad. So that's just talking about like what's the exit plan, and things like that. And just what to do with the money. But I feel like a big priority for me is that ownership piece. It's like,
yes,
I don't want to jump into just renting something, like, because I just feel like I'm putting my money in somebody else's joint. Like, I want to, but then when you look at New York City and you see $3 million for this house, $1.2 million for this house, it just be like, well, I fit in it over there.
Nah, it's deals though out there. You just gotta look, like, especially with off-market deals, there's opportunities. So it's just finding that right deal that will make sense, where you can get in at a good number and still have a reasonable overhead that is going to be, not too much for you, or be able to actually pay down with the rental income the property produces.
So do you think, New York City, you in the markets, you see it. Do you think with New York City markets right now, people can still find a reasonable place to live for an affordable price?
With a rental?
Yes.
Yeah, depending on certain areas. Like, I just had a 2-bedroom in East New York for $2,000.
But not everybody want to live in the East.
Exactly.
It's a fact.
So, you said, do I find them? You're able to find them.
Like, if I wanted to live
where you want to be?
If I wanted to live in Clinton Hill or Bed-Stuy or Park Slope.
That's the next Manhattan. Like, maybe in a pre-war building. Definitely in a pre-war building.
What's that?
Pre-war buildings are those buildings where it's like, how do I describe it? Maybe you could put a picture too. But it's like those big buildings, and they sometimes look castle-y, but they're not. Let me actually show you.
I don't know what you talking about.
I ain't gonna lie,
I'm trying to imagine, but I don't know what you talking about.
Okay, let me show you one.
No.
Yeah, you know exactly what this is. Like these. See,
okay. Oh, yeah.
Like those.
Oh, yeah. Like those, like those buildings, like
in Midwood.
Yeah, it take up like a lot.
You see them a lot on Ocean Parkway.
I'll put a picture for y'all so y'all see.
Yeah. So, like in a pre-war building, you'll definitely still get affordable prices.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Because those apartments sometimes are old, though.
Yeah, they're old. Sometimes they fix them over, though.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay, cool.
So,
and what about if you find a rental and you do some work in them? Does that make sense? Like,
to do work, it depends. If you really do plan on being a long-term tenant, yeah, you could do work in them. It also makes sense to extend your lease from a 1-year lease to maybe a 3 or 2-year lease, especially if you are a good tenant and you pay on time.
And what if I pay all my rent up front? I get a better deal.
A better deal on the rental price?
On my rent for the month. So let's say
the whole year.
Let's say it's $2,000 a month, and I'm like, you know what? I'll pay my whole rent for 12
the whole year.
Yeah, 12 months straight. Can I negotiate, like, instead of it being $2,000, can it be $1,800?
Yeah. Wait. 1,800. That's not a bad negotiation. You could definitely like negotiate. Like when you working with your realtor would negotiate that for you. And like I could get that.
My problem is I'll negotiate with my realtor. Realtor, I need you to do this, and that. Like now, I'll just be doing that. But all right, so we about to close up soon. I do want to talk about too, just like, adulting, right?
Yeah.
And going in that process. I know that we talked a little bit earlier about, your spirituality. I hope I said that right.
Yeah.
And your shift there. Mm-hmm. But just like, I'm 21, 25, you're like my big sis now, right? Like, if you had any advice to give to me, right?
Yeah.
What would you say?
What would I say to you? First of all, I would tell you you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Likewise. I appreciate you. You as well.
You are doing so good. I'm actually very proud of you. And I'm so excited for where God is going to take you. Because it's only high places.
Thank you.
And I would just tell you to stay the course, because where you're going, like, yeah, it's not a lot of people could be next to you, you know? So if there are moments of isolation, if there's moments of loneliness, just rejoice in them and literally like find comfort in them, because it's okay. Like
that's a fact.
Like there's like the end of a rainbow, and just know you getting through that tunnel, because it's like it's okay. I would tell you that. Definitely tell you stay the course. I'm trying to think.
What about someone who may feel a little lost right now?
They feel lost.
Yeah, like they in their 20s right now, like,
and they feel like they don't even know.
Yeah, like I don't know what to do.
What they passionate.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking for something. Like,
yeah, I would tell you literally block out all the noise. Like, one, you're not behind. Like, you're not behind. I know some people, I feel like this sometimes too. Like, I should be way further than where I am. But I'm right where God needs me to be. God is pruning you. God is pruning us to the person he wants us to become. And I will tell you, if you are feeling lost, just think about the person that you actually want to be, or what that person even looks like. Write that down. And every day, just make habits of becoming that person. Like, be intentional, especially this year, 2025. I think this year is a year of being intentional. So just be intentional with everything you do, who you speaking to, what you're doing, the activities you're participating in, what you're letting in your ear gates, what you're letting in your eye gates, what you're seeing, what you're listening to, even down to the music matters, because all those things matter. What kind of podcast are you listening to? What kind of sermons are you listening to? What kind of YouTube videos are you watching? You know what I'm saying? What is consuming your time? All those things matter. So if you are feeling lost, take a reality check. Look at yourself and say, what can I fix about me personally? What personal development can I improve in? Because once you start doing that, things just start aligning. God's will take control.
That's a fact, y'all. And I think the biggest thing, y'all, because people will listen to all that, but a lot of times people don't want to do none of that work, is because they scared on what's on the other side of that.
Yeah, faith.
Right?
Have it.
Yeah, like sometimes I find it that sometimes people don't want to do the work because now they're afraid to be held accountable. Right? So now if I write down fully what it takes for me to get to where I want to go, now I know. Now I have no excuse, right? I can't say like, oh, I don't have this, I don't do this. Like,
because this person wasn't in my life, because I never had a mentor.
Exactly. And I think sometimes, you know, we wish for things, but we don't actually wish to or desire to have the skill set and the mindset to actually get to that thing, right? Like, I'm about to speak at this event tomorrow, and it's at a church. And I always start my workshops with, like, affirmations. And one of the affirmations that I put down was, like, God, please bless me with the discipline to accomplish the goals that I have, because that's what it boils down to, right? Like, it's very easy to create a budget.
Discipline.
It's very easy to invest.
It's hard to execute and follow it.
Exactly. It's very hard to, like, be held accountable, you know, and be disciplined and be consistent. Yeah, that's the hard part. And to your point of something that you felt like you had to give up, we was talking about earlier. Bro, for this might sound crazy, but for the last couple months, I really feel like God been telling me to let go of chicken. Like, this might sound
my gosh, me too.
I don't know what it is, but
this whole month, like even when I eat it,
bro, I've been peeping weird things in my chicken. I've been just not feeling like, and I know it sounds crazy, but God, I really feel like God is telling me don't eat chicken. And last night I was at this event, and like, it's so crazy because I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, right? And this thing kept popping up on my YouTube, like bad foods, like a podcast about bad eating, and I just keep ignoring it. I'm not gonna lie, like, I dead keep ignoring it.
You the signs.
Like, I dead keep ignoring it because I'm like, damn, like, I don't want to be held accountable for, like, I want to eat.
Like, literally after my fast, I was like, I was trying to eat different foods, but it's like my stomach was really rejecting it. I'm like, no, because God, you're not about to make me a vegan. Bro. I know you're not about to make me a vegan, please.
Bro. And so I went to this event last night, and they just start talking about food out of nowhere and how you eat, and like, and then he goes, yeah, and you know, we really gotta stop eating meat because, you know, meat is. I'm like, bro, what's going on right now? It's like, it's haunting me. So you know what? I made the thought last night. I said, you know what? I'm allergic to chicken.
Watch that video that you avoiding. Watch that video.
No, I am. I said, I'm allergic to chicken. Like, I have to treat it the same way I treat. Like, I don't drink milk.
Yeah, I don't drink it.
Same thing. Same way milk. I move with milk. I gotta move with chicken now. Yeah. And I have to learn how to uneat chicken. And for me, like, I could, cause I eat fish, right? I like shrimp, fish, stuff like that. I can go in a spot and only order fish. Yeah. But it'd be like, when I go to events, they got that fried chicken there. Yeah. I'm going to Chipotle.
No, that's a fact.
Chicken. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But that's just to the point of, like, sometimes it's going to be something that keep haunting you and keep calling you. And it may sound like something that may not be serious. But for me, I get sick a lot. And a lot of my sickness ties into, like, just my diet and, like, you know, sleeping well. And it's like, I don't want to be rich and not be able to...
And be unhealthy.
Yes, and not be able to live. Exactly, because I'm making excuses, saying like, oh, I'm on the road a lot, so I have to eat chicken. No, you don't. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, sometimes we can't be afraid to be held accountable, right? You gotta challenge yourself, and every day I try to challenge myself to just be a better version of who I am, and that's all we could do, you know. Yes. And that's adulting.
1% better. That is adulting, and that was actually something I wanted to say too, because it's like adulting, especially when you are in this entrepreneurship journey. Like, when you are in entrepreneurship, it really looks more about how you change yourself, how your personal development skills, your people skills, your communication skills, the boundaries. You got to start setting boundaries. You can't start saying yes to everything, because there's times you need to be disciplined and you need to be in your studies. There's time you need to be focused. So it's focus season. You know what I'm saying? It's grinding season. So you got to learn how to say no, block out the noise so you can get to where you want to go. But it's really you versus you. That's what entrepreneurship is. Literally. Because you can't clock in and just be there and then still get paid. No, you have to clock in, show up, put in the work, sell, market. You have to do all these things to get things. Yeah, yep. So it's like, it really turns you into a better person. Like, I feel like, and then when you align, like, for me, like, when you align God, and especially like after like reading the Bible and things, it's like certain ways we are supposed to be behaving. it's like it really comes together. It's all for our good, you know?
No, it's
like being disciplined is for our good. Watching the way we speak is for our good. Being kind and nice and generous to people, having a pure heart is for our good, because that creates favor to us.
No, that's a fact. And I just think the issue is, though, I feel like we get caught up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in the world, there's so many distractions. There's so many people who may hurt us or may cause or do stuff that now we adopt a survival mindset.
Yeah.
A mindset of like,
especially in New York.
Yeah, I'm doing this to survive. I'm moving like this to survive. It's F that because I'm trying to survive. It's F that girl because I'm trying to survive. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like a biblical person where I could like spit a scripture or something like that.
It's okay. I'm not all the way there yet either. But listen, I'm still a babe in Christ.
Nah, yeah. I'm literally like I know right from wrong.
Yes.
Right? And I know when I'm allowing outside factors to determine how I'm moving as a person. Or I know when, you know, there's this quote that was like, just because people do bad to you doesn't mean that you shouldn't be a good person. Like, something like that. And like, I just know when like I have to shift my energy, because just because I had one experience doesn't mean that's the experience of all human beings. You know what I'm saying? And just because humans are cruel doesn't mean that I should be cruel. You know what I'm saying? Because how am I changing the cycle? That's how I look at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I just try to be a good person. You know, and it's hard. It's not easy, you know, in certain areas, because it's like, you know, you're trying to watch your back too.
Yes.
You know? But, you know, you just got to be a good person, because at the end of the day, what goes around comes around. And yeah, it's a fact.
That was so good. And I love that you mentioned just because someone does bad to me or I had a bad experience don't mean I need to be a bad person, because that's actually how trauma starts. And it starts a lot when we're children. But trauma is the devil's playing ground, because he uses that to try and
trigger. Yeah,
not just even trigger, but try and there's a word for it. I can't hear it. I can't think of it right now. But he uses that to try and darken our hearts, you know, to make us like a little crooked in our walk and just how we are in life. And then it's like when you become that kind of person, now you turn from good to bad, or your perception of things are always negative. It's like it's like God. If God wants to use you as a vessel, He can't use you when your heart posture isn't all the way there.
That's a fact. What I want to end off on, because I was listening to this sermon today, and I got two good quotes. I posted it earlier. First thing he said, it was Pastor Mike Jr.
Okay.
He was like, what did he say? He said, damn, as I'm thinking about, he basically said, God sometimes adds by subtracting. He was like, a lot of times we think that when we lose something or we lose somebody or somebody walks away, something like that, we lost. But sometimes that's an addition, because like it's some new things that's about to fulfill that spot in a way bigger. Like I'll give you a perfect story. So for example, I wanted to have a fashion show for Black History Month. Yeah. This year. I was so adamant about it. I planned it, everything like that, but it just was not working out at all. So I was just like, forget it. You know, put it to the side. I was going to have the fashion show on February 22nd. Like, that was the day I was going to do it.
Okay. Oh, that was the day of my Valentine.
Oh, word. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, I saw it. Yep. And you know what's so crazy? February 22nd is the same day I went to LA for the NAA speed run. So imagine if, like, I'm planning this fashion show this whole time, and I got that opportunity, and I wouldn't have been able to go. Yeah, because I couldn't. When did like you get the opportunity? So they actually been DM me, but I never even seen it. Okay. So I got it back in like January. Okay. And we was talking and stuff like that, but it was like late January. But I was already kind of planning the fashion show to be that date, like finding the place, everything like that. But it just wouldn't work out, and I was just thinking to myself like, yo, that was God, right? Wow. You know what I'm saying? Because he was trying, but it wasn't working. Exactly. And not saying like that opportunity was bigger than the fashion show or anything like that. It's just like, that's where I needed to be. He had a bigger blessing for you, because he's expanding your capacity. So he needs you in certain rooms. That's a fact. And then another thing Pastor Mike Jr. said was like, yo, like sometimes people, damn, what did I post on my Instagram? It was like, yo, pass my phone real quick, bro. Nah, because this was good. This was good. You could throw it. It's gonna come. This was good. He was like, oh Oh, dang, my parking thing expired. I hope I ain't get no ticket out there, bro. Can't afford another one of them joints.
Yeah,
All right.
me neither.
So,
you did it in Jesus' name.
all right. It says, you don't know who's really with you until they have the option not to be. I really, really like that one too, because I feel like sometimes we ride with people, we allow people in our circle and things like that, and people are just there because that's the only option, right? That's you the only environment that could be around, right? But when you start, giving other people options, you'll see who's really
where they really want to
exactly. So those was two things,
and
that
if they still call you in.
No, that's a fact. But I appreciate this conversation.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you for coming on. This is a good one. We had
This
a lot.
is great.
We had some good information,
enjoyed
good
my
game.
time
This is
here.
gonna be a good one. But where can the people find you?
You guys can
yes.
find I'm so used to saying you guys can find me on Instagram at Miss Bellabomb, MISSSB. No. You can literally find me on Instagram now and on TikTok. I think on TikTok.
TikTok is better.
No, I'm just getting started on TikTok.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
just getting started on TikTok. But on Instagram, it is Yuhniece, YUHNIECE, an extra E, because someone, I don't know who this girl is.
She have your name.
She got my name. My name. It's my name that
She
it don't belong. I'm telling everything. She didn't respond. No, I'm so serious.
What she said?
She did not respond, so I commented on her picture, and she still didn't respond to me.
Commenting wasn't crazy.
Nah, cause I'm like, nah, sis. Like, you don't see my inbox. Like, maybe I'm in a request box. She ain't see me, so I commented. She still ain't respond. So I reported her page. But if y'all want to report her too, y'all can.
I'm weak. No, but this was good. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and tune in. Share what you learn. Let's get it, y'all. See y'all next week.